This is Talking Sense with Dollar Bill. I'm David, Common Sense. Complicated issues like business operations and taxes require complex explanations. Talking Sense with Dollar Bill will explain these issues in plain language and have fun doing it. We must disclose that all opinions expressed on the show are of the hosts, and we advise that you consult a tax professional or attorney regarding any financial or business decisions. We always encourage your questions. Email them to us at info@talkingsensewithdollarbill.com. That's sense with a C. And now, without any further ado, I give you your host, Dollar Bill.
Well, it's going to be an exciting presentation today, and we're looking for information from Len Di Bari, and we're going to find out some of the activities that he's been involved in over the years to develop his own significant business.
Wonderful. And I want to say welcome to all you dear listeners out there, and welcome to you, Dollar Bill. I hope you're doing well. It's great to be here with you as always, and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our interviewee today, and I can unabashedly say he is somebody I greatly admire sincerely. Len Di Bari is a successful business owner and so much more. He is a leader, an advisor, a family man, and all-around incredible person. Incidentally, he also promotes one of his products, Stronghold Solutions, on our show. And for that and for your time, Lenny, we are so grateful. Just a big Talking Sense with Dollar Bill welcome to you on our show.
Glad to have you.
Thanks for the invite. Len Di Bari here, president of Stronghold. And just briefly, we're a supply chain solutions company with fulfillment and distribution services, as well as product development and manufacturing, both domestic in the United States, and we have a global presence as well.
Wonderful.
So your business started with your terrific father, Jack, I guess, with one truck. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. Pop started back in 1954 with one truck. Actually, his business started as a shoe shine boy at 8 years old. 10 cents to shine. He built a shoebox for my grandfather's freight of grapes. It was 10 cents written on it. I still have that shoebox, as a matter of fact. Unfortunately, Pop, he passed 1 year ago. But we still live on his legends and his teachings and motivations here at Stronghold. He started with one truck in 1954. He was 16 years old, and we ended up building a fleet of 52 vehicles in New York City in the tri-state area. From there, we grew into fulfillment, and our operations from New York to California amassed over 1.3 million square feet of fulfillment centers, which are distribution and supply chain and 3PL services for customers.
That's fantastic. That's quite an accomplishment, and certainly I'm sure your father would be very proud.
You've been involved in a number of businesses, Lenny, over the years. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about one of the things that you've built a strong reputation on, and that is some key strategies that you look for in a distribution operation.
Sure. Some key strategies. Well, a distribution operation for what we do is fulfillment. We'll do everything from just regular old in-out handling, receiving, and shipping to whether it's retail stores, big box, or industries like hospitals or other urgent cares or some other consignment type structures. When I say mom and pop stores or the big chains like Target, Walmart, etc. So some of the things we'll look for is communication efficient systems and teamwork. I could walk into a facility and just smell if it's operating properly, efficiently. We could see how teams run projects, how receiving is set up, and systems are very important. And these don't work independently of each other. You need all three to be efficient and to be successful in our business, the supply chain as well. We sort of take it to another level and offer some QC controls and some global presence as well, shipping directly from manufacturing to end users, and some quality assurances that we put in sort of proprietary in Stronghold. But as far as distribution services go, we need three quality segments, which is communication, it's teamwork, and it's efficient systems.
Now, you've mentioned quite a variety of issues there, but one of the things that I'm interested in is you've mentioned manufacturing process. Do you do special label, and do you manufacture like 10 million of these, but you can put 2 million in this name and 3 million in that name, or are you in that particular environment?
Sure, sure. Well, as manufacturers, we have our own brands in the market, but as well, we do OEM or private label is what you're referring to.
Correct.
So if a company like Costco wanted their Hathaway label, or a J.C. Penney label, or a healthcare group wanted their own brand on a product, we, of course, would brand that product as they wanted it, their logo, their proprietary labels, whatever it may be that they need. We've done this for decades. But we need to have both levels if we want to be a brand and run our products through a certain segment, through a certain, whether it's wholesale, retail, great. And we refine that and build a quality product. And that usually leads to other brands or other retail outlets looking for a certain product in their name. So yeah, we have to be able to accommodate that. Very important in production. If you want to do those type of numbers that you just mentioned, absolutely.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You managed to start out with your own direction, and all of a sudden people want to jump on board.
Yeah, exactly right. My daughter was born 28 years ago. 27 years ago, we started a shoe business, and it was named after her, Jillian Brett Footwear. And we started our own retail outlets. We started our manufacturing, and all of a sudden, companies like Nine West wanted to do production with us because we delivered a quality product in our brand. Of course, we did it in their labels. They had 3 or 4 different labels, but that's what it leads to. If you're delivering a product in the market that makes sense and it performs well at the level of quality, other brands would notice, perhaps, reach out, and now you have some production opportunities to sell through these other brand names, which is the private label business.
And to that extent, I believe that the opportunity then, when your volume increases to that level, you can get a little better spread on your margins.
Yes. Those economies on buying in volume, very, very critical. But if I may, I think what we focus on foremost is the higher quality. We do not focus or concentrate on lower cost of goods. We treat that second or third down the line. It is delivering quality. We do not sacrifice dollars for quality ever. And we're a little unique in the sense that it really, there's a cost of production, there's a cost of marketing, there's a cost of advertising, cost of acquisition. We consider those as a priority. We consider building our team with quality people as a priority. And it's sort of a mention that, if you focus on the top line, which is the management people, quality products, the top line, the bottom line falls in, it follows. We'll learn how to make money in a margin. So yes, of course, economies, that's attractive to a lower cost because we're buying volume, but that's not the focus.
No, I understand that. And,
right.
And to that extent too, when I happen to be a bean counter, so when that's the situation, you look at margin, you look at those things, but the one thing that I tell individuals when I start a new business or I get involved with another type of entity, I will say to them, I don't cook. I don't know what quality your merchandise is. So don't listen to me if I say you should reduce your cost by buying a different product because, number one, I don't know, and if you're selling quality to begin with, you don't need to do anything. You might need to raise your price if you need a better reserve or you need a little better profit. You are in a position where because you deliver the quality, don't be afraid to raise the price.
That's excellent advice. That's what we live by. You're 100% right. Of course, being relative to the market, we can't outprice ourselves in the market, but let's be on the top end of the price structure in that market. Completely agree. And sometimes you're right. You walk into Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom's or Saks, and that men's shirt doesn't sell at $12. It sells at $60. That's the customer walking in there. 100% right. So understand the market, understand where you are competitively priced. If you can be on the higher side because of your quality, then the margin is there.
And now you talk about, and then you talk about delivery and customer satisfaction. Once you've got the quality and you can get the customer to honor you by saying, I really enjoyed, they gave me the product, they responded to my inquiries, they did what I needed to, whether it was a a return item or whether it was a new sale or having an opportunity to get a selection that they were interested in.
Yeah, for us, we started in the logistics and distribution business, and that's really what it's about. Pop used to say you can have gold for the price of tin, but if nobody knows about it, and if you don't deliver timely and accurately, nobody cares. So it's really about that logistics issue. Everything we have is logistics. If you look around in front of you, if you're in an office, the desk was delivered by a truck, a chair was manufactured, but somehow the procurement got there, it got all together, and it was delivered. So it was delivered in a supply chain effect that made things happen. So yeah, we pride ourselves on timely and accurately delivering the product, not just manufacturing at a cost or delivering quality, but getting it there timely, properly, accurately, 100%. And I think that's one of the reasons we're successful in production. Everything we do is with a sense of urgency, but a coherent, complete plan to deliver timely.
And that is a whole new challenge in today's environment when your specific costs have driven you to new heights of concern simply because I know every vehicle on the road, between the tolls, the fuel, the issues that have been addressed in trying to maintain a sound delivery process, I'm sure you've gotten some challenges in that area.
Absolutely. And we've delivered under conditions that are, when I say impossible, we're underwater on margin. But guess what? If we made a promise to deliver a certain time, those effects and causes, whatever they may be, are our responsibility, not the consumer, customer, or our we call customers partners. And that's how we've run our business. And that is really Pop's ethics and teachings to us. If you shake a hand and you make a promise, deliver, no excuses. Today we have an environment right now where the Suez Canal has all kinds of issues going through there. So ships are going through Panama, and Panama has a drought. 36 ships a day, there's 5 ships going through today. So cost of transportation just popped. We never expected it. So containers on water just doubled. That's not in our margin. It wasn't a variable for us for these past few months. All of a sudden it hits. And now we have to decide what to do. Well, what do? We deliver at the same price that we decided to, that we shook hands on, or we'll fly those goods and incur an extremely costly event. But we have to, because that was our promise. Hopefully our partners will understand and appreciate it and make it up on the next order. So we always look for other orders. If we do business just one time, everybody failed. And that's important to have people appreciate, what we do. We do whatever it takes to get it there. So critical, I can say, again, you can build fantastic products, but if you can't get them there at an efficient and a reasonable cost that you promised, then you have no business.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and the challenge of maintaining that integrity and that commitment that you're doing is well devoted so that your customers will realize you're really towing the line.
Let's take a brief word from one of our sponsors. Hey, folks, if you're like me, then you've been paying a lot more attention to your personal security and home defense these last few years. And if you really want your dollars to make sense, you need to check out our sponsor, Foxhole Armor. Their Patriot Home Defense Level 3 body armor is exactly what every American home should have sitting next to the nightstand under the firearm. Lab tested to stop up to a .308, which is the same bullet used in a military M240 Bravo machine gun. It is designed to provide a lifetime of full body protection at a fraction of the cost of traditional body armor solutions. With their already low prices of $579 on sale for $529, our listeners are able to save $50 and get free shipping by using the code $bill, that's all one word, $bill, at checkout. Talk about using your dollars to make sense. FoxholeArmor.com. Check them out. And now back to our interview with Len Di Bari, CEO of Stronghold.
So, Len, you indicated you treat your business as if it was a baby or a child, and you're tending to it. So I'm just wondering if you have anything to elaborate as to how you tend to take care of the baby.
That's funny you say that, because it's like you're a fly on the wall in some of our meetings, but absolutely. A business is like a child or a newborn. In fact, if it's a new business, we consider it an unborn baby. And what does it take? It's support. It's family support. That's what our team is here in business. It's like a family. Support the mother and prepare for the baby to be born. That's the business. How do you prepare? Well, even the office environment is like the little baby's room. You're painting it. You're getting all the crib together. Be ready to receive that baby. And also, the baby's another person. It's not me. I'm the founder of the company or whomever or the COO. It's not, it's another person. It's another entity. It's another body that needs to be nurtured, cared for. And what's the plan for this? So is it from adolescence? Is it high school? Is it college? What are we going to do to prepare for that? How are we going to feed this baby? Feeding a baby is like feeding a business. A baby gets food, a business gets money, cash flow, revenue. How do we increase that and encourage it? So it's very important, I believe, to treat it as a separate entity. And then it also alienates us from the decisions we make as if it's, I'm the business. I represent this. Of course, we're the business, the people of business. But if you say a decision has to be made based on that being, what's the best for that being right now? And it sort of gives us a more objective view, an objective opinion in what decisions could be made.
Especially
so we
when
treat it like a new.
Especially when you might have to burp.
Yeah, especially, and other things. We got to take care of everything. You know?
Len, we talk about mission, vision, and purpose on the show a lot. How do these concepts play into your operations and how you manage things and, nurturing the business?
Well, every business has to have a mission, right? And it has to have a purpose. There's an objective here. In our purpose, we have to understand why we're in business. Why we're in business usually because we're trying to solve a problem. And that means identifying a problem. We identify a problem, it's 80% of the solution because we know what the problem is, and then we make a plan on how to attack it. That's our mission. Almost like the Marines. We have a problem, let's define a plan, which is the solution, and let's attack. So definitely, and there needs to be a purpose. There needs to be a reason why we're doing this. So I was mentored by a great general who taught me the 5 W's and an H in every business that we did. 5 W's was who we're doing business with. And it's not just who the customer is, who our team is, who our manufacturers, who our supply chain is, whoever at every level is who. Identify who. And then what we're doing. What are we doing in this business? Are we producing goods, we're supplying services? Define that. When are we doing this? The timeline. What is it going to take to launch? Where we're doing it, naturally. We're producing overseas, we're producing here, we're delivering here. Is there a global growth plan? And then why? Why is once all the 4 W's, the 5th W is why are we doing this? As a team, as a partnership, as a sole proprietor, why are we doing this business? Okay, is this what I always thought would be great for me? That I always want to be, I don't know, a farmer with 1,000 acres or just an office with one headset dealing globally in telecommunications? Who knows why? And what's the purpose for that? Very important. Our purpose in our latest business is to give back. We want to earn enough where we have a very specific plan for giving back, and that's the purpose of our why. And then there's 5 W's and H. Big H is how. How do we do all this? How do we accommodate? How do we support finance? How do we build a team? How are we going to build this office here, and how are we going to grow this? So the 5 W's and an H, that's part of our mission statement in every business that we do, but it's got to have clear purpose, and you got to have the right people to get involved and perform and execute the plan.
Well, certainly everything you said we wholeheartedly agree with. And there's one more letter that I want to try to put into the program, and that's an R, and it's called resource. You have to assess your resources in order to execute all of those items that are in the plan. And when you look at the value or the number of resources you might have, that'll help you develop a viable plan, because now you can structure the intent or develop the operation to comply with the access to the different resources that you have, because nothing is nothing is infinite. Things are finite. So you want to make sure that when you do develop the plan, or you're going to approach the opportunity to build another business, you got to know, as I say in many cases, sometimes you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think the most important resource that we have are our people. And of course, you need to evaluate your resources. If you're in, wherever it may be, in Leon, Guanajuato, a great leather goods are produced, and that's your resource and relationship, great. If you're overseas and you're in, the medical field and you have wonderful products, SMS, whatever it may be, wonderful. But it's the people. Our resources are people. We manage, 1,200 people overseas with great leadership at every group level. and every position, and that's really our resource. If we can't produce it ourselves in our own facilities, we will source it. And that takes people with the clear understanding on what the goals and objectives are. Again, starting out with quality and not sacrificing it. And everybody's got to be on the same page. That's what communication is. That's why we have team meetings constantly and throughout, and understanding some of the problems, how to overcome the situation, but also keeping people on the same page with direction. And those resources are people, are other people too. Those are relationships. That's really the resource. What relationships do we have in those particular areas for those particular products? Because guess what? You could have the Olympic-sized facility, the greatest equipment in the world, the most costly production line, and they make poor quality products. Why? Their leadership, their management, their direction isn't focused on the level that we feel should be. And we've passed on many opportunities, and we might work in a smaller facility, but it has the direction, focus, and plan to be the best and deliver the best products. I think if you align yourself with those types of resources, you'll be way ahead of the game, have a much better chance to be successful.
Well, one of the things that I've learned in my career is that you operate from the tone at the top. So if the top is saying, consider your resources and appreciate the capital and the people who work with you, you've got an excellent opportunity to achieve success.
That's really what we try to do here. Honestly, I couldn't manufacture a glove or a mask or some of the other products that we produce. I am temperature recorded, but I do hope that I coach well and motivate the team to achieve the things that we're looking to achieve. And it's not just management and some executive levels. It's right down to the core. Those that are sweeping our warehouse. And that's how I started. I started sweeping at 9 years old. I drove a truck through Manhattan to make deliveries in the garment center. And that's really what it takes, to communicate at every level and show an example. Be a leader that is an example also. Lead by example. There's nothing too tough or too dirty that I wouldn't do. And don't ever think because you're the boss, you're not a horse. We have a bunch of horses here, not bosses.
So given the circumstances and the environment that we're trying to cope with today, the people have gone into resignation, this process of not going to work, and they don't respect the concept of actually working for a reasonable compensation. They're more interested in saying, send me a check, I'm breathing.
Yeah, well, I don't relate to that too well. I was taught to get up at 5 a.m. and show up and open that place and be the last one out. When you grow in a global presence, you can't be there. You need leadership, and you need, great leaders in each position to help do that and delegate. But I don't.
So are there areas now where you're in fact having challenges of finding qualified people? That's really what I'm getting down to, is trying to see, are you using a process to select individuals that have the right qualities to fit in with your organization?
It's used to be 1 in 3. Hire 3, keep 1. Now it's 1 in 12, and it's hard to get 12 to show up.
My Lord,
it's
I
really
agree.
Unbelievable. And it's all positional too. Here in the United States, it's more difficult. We run coast to coast. It's just in each state it's more difficult than others. But overseas, the work ethic is still there. I can bring in as many people as I need, or we need as a team for certain objectives and projects. And we see the management rise. It's really amazing how they value work ethic. Try to give a day off, they think that you're punishing them. It's just unbelievable. Over here, if you ask the goals, it's like, oh, when can I work from home? And I really like to know my paid time off, and I really like to understand my benefit. Before we even start talking about the function of the job and what you can offer us as a team, it's gotten a little reversed.
So I do hear some frustration there. It is a challenging time to try to find individuals that have any concept of commitment.
Yeah, absolutely right. I would agree with you 100%. And where does that come from? It's the next generation above. It's this generation. It's our leadership in government, perhaps, our leadership on the job. But we also, we have disincentives. We're about motivation and coaching and getting, even just physically being in an office together and rubbing shoulders and sharing a bagel together. There's more getting done at these physical meetings than you can have on a zillion Zoom meetings. I'm sorry, I'm part of them. I'm a sort of a touchy handshake guy, right? But at the end of the day, there's nothing better than camaraderie. And I feel like we're losing that as a society. It's a problem. Yes, of course, COVID times brought this about. There was some necessary changes that needed to be made, but we've got to bring our community back together. From waving at church, peace be with you. There's a wave instead of a handshake and a hug. It's not nice, but we're doing what we can to stay safe. Of course, it's just got a little radical, and I think the younger minds have different goals and focuses than what we had, which is unfortunate because you need camaraderie, you need teamwork, you need physical presence.
Well, I'm very happy that you were able to listen to that presentation that we had with the individual financial suggestion and the estate planning. At the same time, I'd like to recommend that you check out one that we did on listening. It was a challenging half-hour presentation, and we're looking forward to having individuals have the opportunity when they go on Spotify. With all the episodes that we have, you can kind of breeze through them and check out ones. And one of the ideas that I've expressed with Dave here, Common Sense, we're going to take our first year of presentations and put them in a book format and try to identify the resources for individuals if they want to start their own business. We make many references, like with Warren Buffett and several other individuals that have been successful in the business environment. And that's just an interesting process that we're looking forward to.
And now,
I'm encouraged.
With a special nod to you, Len, a brief word from our sponsor, Stronghold Solutions. Stronghold Solutions is a powerful, completely safe disinfectant and cleaning agent for industrial and home use. Stronger than bleach, yet safe for people, their easy-to-use solution is highly effective against germs, viruses, mold, and other contaminants. It is low cost and easily applied by hand, with wipes, or with a sprayer or fogger. Stronghold Solutions disinfects, cleans, and degreases aggressively. Yes, it does all three, and with gusto. Stronghold Solutions is safe and effective and eliminates your need for multiple cleaning agents. It is completely safe for use in schools and daycare, healthcare settings, municipalities, commercial and residential buildings, paratransit, and campus vehicles. Use it anywhere. Email the show, info@talkingsensewithdollarbill.com, that's sense with a C, for more info. Or if you have a comment for Dollar Bill or myself, let us know with an email to the show, info@talkingsensewithdollarbill.com. And now back to our interview with Len Di Bari, CEO and founder of Stronghold.
Well, Len, I hope you're enjoying this presentation as much as I am, and look forward to hearing more from you.
I do enjoy it. I'm going to take your advice and listen to the show about listening.
Okay. One of the comments that was made is I said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So that's why we're...
Exactly. And it's a real art to just sometimes not speak and listen.
It's a challenge where I am one of those who I like to think and talk before I hear everybody, and that's the wrong approach. So, in fact, we did discuss the possibility of artificial intelligence and make it clear that perhaps artificial intelligence is not a very good listener.
I have my opinions about that as well. Good tools.
Well, unfortunately... Oh, go ahead, Len. I'm sorry.
No, sometimes the reliance on those tools could be exhaustive, and we need to rely on other things, but good tools in the market right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I must report that we are just about out of time, and what a time it's been. Mr. Len Di Bari, what can I say? Just a warm thank you for spending this time with us and sharing your wisdom in a way that I just knew would be fun as well. Please know you are always welcome on Talking Sense with Dollar Bill.
Appreciate being here. If we can affect even just a couple of people to get in the business for the right purpose, the right reason, the right mission, and really have a plan and think about cash flow and think about this and really and also take that risk. Boy, that's what our country needs. We need more innovation, more entrepreneurs, more new and kids getting out there, kids, adult, whatever it is, getting out there and really taking the chance and building teams and actually delivering services and products again. That's what built our country. So we need to get out there and do it again. We're not order takers. We deliver.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to have this presentation with you, and we'll look forward to another one at a future time.
And, of course, I turn it to you, Dollar Bill.
And I say thank you also, Mr. Di Bari, and It was an enjoyable presentation, and as always, thank you for listening to the audience, and may your common sense turn into dollar bills.